Alright, another stream. Finally, haven't played in forever. We called a min raise and I didn't notice this guy's stack was only 15, so probably wouldn't usually open that. Or I would definitely open that. I wouldn't call even a min raise with a stack size that small. Little steal gets through on the bottom left table. We're down like $5 top right. But besides that, nothing too crazy's happened. This guy bet 618 into 380 on the 776. We can easily fold. We'll call there with position. This guy can squeeze jam or squeeze and squeeze us out pretty easily. Hoping for a 5 here. And we flop a boat. Nice. We'll open that as well. We'll just call here. Be sweet if this guy like shoved or something. I think we'll raise turn because we want the stack in by the river. You can also have some draws that'll call a raise. Could have a jack. He bets. We are going to raise. And we'll fold there. Cool if he had ace jack. Guess he has like aces, kings, or queens. Hopefully not queens. We will be calling a shove though. You can show queen jack, queens, pocket eights, pocket jacks. I think pocket jacks would check flop though. I think we'll just put it in. Yeah. Ace king of clubs, definitely possible the way he played that. I don't think he has ace queen with no club. He had ace jack, so he flopped trips. Flush comes in, backdoor straight comes in. Now he shouldn't be worried about that. But the flush comes in, and he leads. And then like snap calls it off when we jam. The weird thing is our raising range. Like if we have jacks, a lot of them are actually queen jack. Some jack tens, but I don't know. I mean, after he bets, he kind of has to call it off, but it's hard to imagine I would raise worse than trips. So I don't know. Worse than trips. Ace deuce will fold, 2-10 will fold. Ace 4 we open, but we don't really have much going for us. Stack sizes, we're not going to be able to two-barrel I mean, we can two-barrel a lot of cards, but not against those stack sizes at 50 and out. You can probably just avoid it, so we won't mess with it. Looks like we are deconning. This website's been so bad lately. Ignition, you gotta get it together. This is just horrendous. I'm glad we don't have like the nuts on any of these tables, but we're probably gonna have to exit out of all of these. Unreal. So frustrating. Alright, so we had 4 really good tables too. This is so frustrating. People were limping buttons, limping under the gun. Oh, we're back. Oh, we have the nuts. I'm back. Oh, no. Oh, that's frustrating. We made the nuts on the river. Nut flush, but... Alright, well, we still got our tables, so that's okay. Very, very frustrating, though. No, do not sit out next hand. Alright, well, we made it through. Barely. Honestly, just so frustrating. King Jack gets it all in against Jack 10. Jack's up. I wasn't watching, I was looking over at the Twitch. I don't know if he jammed 10 Jack pre or what, but he only had 10 big blinds either way, so no big deal. No, we're not even going to defend 50 cents against that stack size. Do a graph update. Queen 5 hits the muck. 4-9 will hit the muck as soon as one of these guys raises. This guy opens 43% of hands. Let's see what he wants to do here. We will open that. We're already in for 25 cents. Oh, I need to reload there. And we get min 3-bet. We'll defend. And don't flop much. Probably just give up. It's tiny bet, I might peel one off. It's tiny bet. We'll just give it up. Give it up. Four 9, still nothing to write home about. King Queen, UTG, 3 BBs, and 9 high will fold. Six slow play. Limps aces, flops a set, turns a boat, bets 3 times the pot on the river. What can you do? Ace King, we steal. 7-8, we completed. Let's see what. We flop 2 overs and a gut shot. We'll probably just check fold. Check call if it's like a min bet or 75 cents. Yeah, it's a min bet. Could check raise, but. Now we have an open ender. See if our bluff gets through over here or not. Our bluff got through. That's not a good river. That is a good river. Oh, it's frustrating. His ag factor is high, but I just don't see him not having the ace here. Right? He drew to the 10 high flush and value bet it. That's weird. Okay. Well, we just paid off at 10 high flush. Oh boy. If he bets really big here, I might consider folding. If he bets small, we'll just call. If he checks, I might check back. Pulling the jack of spades blocks some flushes. Oh, client froze again. Fantastic. We're just in, a 3-bet pot with a pocket pair. Obvious call here. Yeah, we win. Oh boy, one of these times it's gonna freeze. 3-ball? Nope. That's cool. It's gonna freeze, and we're gonna sit out that hand when he bet $2 into 18, and we're gonna go crazy. I gotta be careful. I don't know if my heart can handle it. We're in the middle of a big pot, and it just freezes up on us. I don't know why. Because I was in for half a blind. Yeah. It's like, how did I end up limped with 7-10 off middle position? So he calls raises pre with king 7. He flopped a second nut flush draw and top pair. Pretty strong. I'm glad he didn't play it how I would have played it. I probably would have put another bet in on the flop and just tried to get it in. It's such a strong hand, and you get hands like mine to fold. I probably would have folded king jack, though. It would have been close because I noticed he 3-bets 20% of his hands, so there's actually not that many kings that are better than ours that don't 3-bet. I think he would 3-bet with that range. That would include ace, king, king, queen, even king jack for the chop. So it would have been a weird spot to be in. He could have some pocket pairs, but I think he 3-bets his pocket pairs pretty often too. Now that number has fallen. I don't even know what I'm talking about. His hands, we've only got 12 hands on him. No sample size. Two and a half X from the button. We'll fold ace 7, and we'll fold jack 7. A little steal gets through. Light 4-bet ends up working out for us. So call raise 4-bet or 3-bet. I'm gonna top pair backdoor nut flush draw, but okay. So this goes open, call, squeeze, shove. Actually, not that crazy with that stack size. I think you could get more value from aces, kings, queens by like literally clicking it back or something, and then jamming almost any flop. But with like ace, king, ace, queen, this seems reasonable. He does show us ace, queen. And nines are going to hold though. Try and steal blind v blind. This guy's pretty loose, so king 10 actually plays okay against his range. Do flop top too, so. Bet big into him. I like to bet big into fish. I mean, their calling and folding frequencies don't change that much. They're not good at like adjusting for bet size. I'm not even going to open jack 8 with this guy. So when you have a valuable hand, bet bigger, and when you have a bluff, bet smaller, just as a rule of thumb. And it works out pretty well. I guess maybe you could bet, like, literally min bet or bet $1 here. I don't think anyone should have an ace. And we actually beat some kings, like some weird king 8 suited, king 10. Bets 2 into 2. He checked back the turn, though. It's really strange. Yeah, with these two people behind me, I'm just going to let it go. I think we're good somewhat often here, but not super often. Yeah, and he shows ace 10. It's really weird to check back ace 10. The flush draw comes in. You actually have a pretty strong hand now that it's been checked around twice. So you can get value from some worse aces that don't want to lead the turn. You can get value from all sorts of draws. There's possible low straight draws with the two blinds in there having like a big blind, small blind special type hand. And also just like worse aces like ace 7, ace 8. I mean, all sorts of worse aces. Ace, jack, queen, king probably would have raised. So ace 10 looks pretty good. It's also susceptible to some of those draws coming in. Now, he almost made money because I considered calling $2. If it was a heads-up pot and it just went like check river, like I think people bluff there enough with when they have no showdown equity that I might have looked it up. But I don't think it makes up for the times that you could have gotten 2 streets of value from like a worse ace, and also the times that like someone just hits their flush and you end up paying them off when you could have charged them on the turn. I don't know. So. Not exactly how I would have played it, but that's okay. $7-10, facing a 3-bet. Can hit the fold button. Let's go. Let's get something going. 10-4, we're just going to fold. This guy's fold to steals. This is 0. He never folds to steal. So I'm not going to steal terrible hands. We'll just value steal against him. He does look that up. King 4 hits the muck under the gun. King 7 under the gun +1 will fold, also known in 6-max. It's what they refer to as MP, middle position, if you're reading a poker book on 6-max. I still call it under the gun +1 a lot because when I used to read stuff, it would be both for 6-max and full ring. And full ring, it kind of goes under the gun +1. I don't know, it matters who you're talking to. Under the gun +2, middle position, so on. 67-33. All right, we'll 3-bet. Flop an overpair. I think we're just going to go for it. You can have 10s, jacks. You can have 9s. You can have aces or kings. That's slow play. I think we're just going to bet. I think he has like an ace-king type hand pretty often. If I bet 17 here, it'll be an easy shove. Yeah, ace-king. Maybe ace-queen, but we're blocking combos of ace-queen. I don't think he'd open ace-jack to 4x and then defend flop, but people surprise you pretty often. We open ace-jack. I'll take this flop for sure. So our non-showdown winnings should be pretty good right now. Looks like we're up a little over a buy-in. What's our graph look like? About break even on the non-showdown. We haven't been all in before the river a single time, so we don't have a single, we don't have any EV to worry about right now. That's the way I prefer it. Really don't care to get all in if I can just abuse people before that. Pocket jacks, I'll take that flop. Oh, yeah, that guy flopped quads for real. Did that guy make a boat, or did he just go off? Did he just lose his mind? I think he might have just lost his mind. Backdoor royal, flush draw. I think we'll peel one. It's not a great turn for us. He has some aces, some 10 jacks, though we did pick up a gut shot. He's still leading into us. It's so bizarre. Yeah, I'm not going to three-way flip with twos. Aces. Two ball? It's so bizarre to lead here. I don't know what he has, but we're just going to play kind of nitty and let it go. Show? I mean, 10 jack got there. We're blocking that, though. 9-10 probably wouldn't play it that way. I don't know what you would lead there except a flush draw. Some of them are ace-high flush draws, though. So, whatever. We're calling this river, by the way. Yeah, we're going to win. When he checks back, we're for sure going to win. I would have led that. I almost ran out of time, so I just hit. Oh, I would have bluffed that, too. Dang it. King high is probably good here. Check back, king high good. King high good. Got 50 extra cents out of it. Every penny counts. You do that one time per 100 BBs, your win rate goes up by 1 BB per 100. Yeah, but nothing too crazy has happened yet. Got a couple stacks going. Need to reload here, actually. The 3-bet comes in from a guy who's very taggy and has never 3-bet. So, probably just going to have to let this go, I think. Yeah, I assumed he had ace high, actually. It's possible he has a king or a flush draw. I don't know if either a king or a flush draw folds, and I don't think an ace folds, so I consider like bluffing the turn, and if I turn a heart, I might go for it, though it's really painful if you get check raised by a king, or even worse, by like a bad bluff, or a good bluff, whatever, and blow you off your equity, so... we check back turn, we end up chopping, which is fine. King 4 we can fold. Even suited. King 3 will fold. This guy fold to steal less than 1 3 times. This guy's going to open it to 4 big blinds. Ag factor of 14, 64, and 27 over his first 10 hands. So it could be a decent player, but small sample size. I will say this. It's pretty telling right away when someone's bet sizing is 4x. It tells you way more information than someone sitting down and betting 3x or 3.5x. 3.5x, I usually think they're probably a little bit fishy because 3x has kind of become the norm. But when someone opens to 4x, probably a softer spot, someone to target, because 4x just doesn't make any sense. You want to be able to steal pretty wide pre-flop, and when you size at 4x, the times you have to fold to a 3-bet or defend in bigger pots, especially out of position, it's a disaster. So you don't want to be getting in the habit of opening, like making 4x your standard open. If you're going to want to open liberally, which you should, at 6 max, you're going to steal his blind, and I imagine he'll defend pretty wide too. This guy behind me comes along on the button. He's a very weak player. Pretty low ag factor post too. We don't flop anything. I'm in a backdoor flush draw. We have a backdoor gut shot straight draw. I think we're just gonna give this one up. If this guy wasn't here, I'd probably c-bet it, and then continue on some turns. Probably if I turned a pair, I'd bet and then check back most rivers if I didn't make 2 pair of trips. And then if I turn even a gut shot, I might barrel it. Against some players, I would definitely barrel it. Against others, I would never. 2 overs and a gut shot, but there are 2 spades out there. It's kind of a loose defend 3 ways, and he sizes it big enough we're not going to call with our gut shot. It's much more likely, well, the most likely thing is we'll just totally whiff, and then it's much more likely that we'll end up like binking a queen or a 10 and be in a rough spot if he continues to bet big, rather than hitting our jack. And even if we hit our jack, it can be the jack of spades, which kills our action, or puts us in a terrible spot if he has a flush. We're drawing dead, but we have a very strong hand against the pre-flop raiser, so I'm not going to draw to the gut shot. If he had bet like half pot and got called in another spot, I might consider it fold to steal 100%, so we will steal 100%. We are going to get to 3-bet our aces here, and we flop bottom pair. I think we'll just c-bet and then give up. Now we have bottom pair and a backdoor straight flush draw. Our 3-bet gets through, unfortunately, with the aces there. Unlucky. We get queens up here on the button. Nice spot. This guy only opens 5% of hands though, so we're not going to get any action from him. And that's going to be no action for us. This guy's still opening to 4x. I like it. Queen 3 we can fold, queen deuce we can fold. QJ. Against the min raise, we will defend 3 ways, flop nothing. I'm in backdoor straight draw, so easy check fold. In fact, this guy never c-bets, and then this guy just raised his c-bet. So even if we had like a 1-pair hand, it would not be a great spot. Even before this happened. When this happens, we would just be a very easy fold. Queen 10 we open, we get called by this guy. This guy calls every time. Give us a pair, please, that I can value bet 2 streets with. Or 2 pair, or a straight, or quads. Fold to c-bet 67%. Alright, we will c-bet this one. We've been giving up on a lot of our c-bets, so this is a board that'll hit them pairwise, and also any 8, any 4, sometimes just ace high. I think we are going to bluff one more here. And if he doesn't have a 4, it shouldn't be a super fun spot for him to be in. Now, he should have some 4s in his range since he's so just loose and bad. Apparently he does. I would guess ace 4, 4 5s, or 6-4. If he does have a straight, he could just be bluffing. But his ag factor is not very high, so I suspect he's not bluffing super frequently. And we're just going to give it up. Okay, this is weird. He called. This is bad. This is really weird too. He leads. I think we're gonna have to raise this. He's very aggressive, so yeah, we'll raise shove over a bluff. He has a boat. Yeah, he had a boat when we made our pair, or our flush. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. This guy's super aggressive. Should I let him hang himself? I think we need to just jam it here. I don't want to give away any more free cards. He folds right away. Interesting. So lose $50 pot there and pretty much win one here. Oh, we flop trips. So we ended up making our flush and he jams. If he had a full stack, you could maybe consider folding. I'd probably still call it off though. Backdoor flush. He has to have, I mean, he can't have pocket kings almost ever. So he has to have king 4, king 3, or king jack. King jack possible. King 3, king 4 seems unlikely that he would defend a raise with that, but he did. He's 43 and 9, so makes sense. And we make our flush when he makes his boat. He has the second nuts. What can you do? And with that stack size, when we decided to bet river, I mean, you definitely have to call the jam. You can see him jamming all sorts of just random kings. Probably never jamming. He's jamming all his boats and probably a lot of kings that aren't boats. Now, if I was against a player who I knew would not jam without a boat, fold. There's no missed bluffs to bluff call. But for that stack size, you're just never going to be able to fold. And I don't want to, like, if I check river, and he bets, do I raise or do I just call? I guess you just call. But you just made a running flush. So I don't know. It's a good card. It's a very good card. Now we might be able to get 2 streets of value from like a queen jack type hand. We make trips, so if he has like an ace or something. I guess raise fold. It looks like a blocker bet. Let's make it smallish. And he folds right away. Probably a queen, I guess. Missed hearts. He folded so quickly, I wonder if it was just missed hearts. Alright, pocket eights. Pocket eights under the gun and pocket eights in the big blind. Well, that gets a walk. Let's see if we get action up top. Got at least one caller. Now we're susceptible to a squeeze. We'll have to see what that sizing is and who it's from. If it happens, this guy does squeeze. So he makes it 5 more. 42 behind. He's very tight. We have position on him. I think we're just going to fold. Now, with this guy behind us, who I know is calling, I think I'm leaning towards a call. Plus, his range is tight enough that if we do hit a set, we should get paid. It's right on the edge. You want 10 times the money behind when set mining, at least 10 times. And after we call 5, we're calling 5 to win 47. So it's pretty close. With this guy, who I think will call, I don't think he'll put in another like re-squeeze. I think we'll be profitable because when we hit our 8, we'll get paid. Usually you're not going to. You only hit it like 1 every 7 or 8 times, 7.5 times. So you got to make it count when you do, especially if you're going to call in 3-bet pots. I like this because we have position on the type 3-better, and I had a feeling this guy would come along but never squeeze us out. Bad board for our hand, but this guy checks. So queens, jacks possible. I think ace, king would have continued. Aces probably would have continued. Kings might check. Pocket 10's possible, but this guy's very, very tight. So I have 2 options. I can bluff at it, but with this guy behind me, it's a little sketchy. And we're going to check it through. Or I think we're going to check and hope it checks through. And his ag factor's not like insane. I play pretty straightforward. Mine's 3. His is a little less. This guy's just not aggressive at all. I hope he just punishes this guy and has pocket kings. And I think he has jacks or queens. It's possible he has ace queen, because I think he's considering folding. I bet he would call if I wasn't behind him. He calls. We're definitely going to fold, obviously. Only other option is, there really is no other option. Calling is just ridiculous. Jamming is pretty ridiculous as well. To jam here, you'd have to essentially say, you want this guy to fold a better hand, and you think this guy has nothing. And this is pocket kings. This guy called the 3-bet with 6-10 suited, flop trips, and then that happened. So this is a open 3-bet, and I think we're just going to ship it in on him. Pocket kings, we will raise. $9 in dead money. Ace king obviously plays very well. And pocket kings does get called. So we're losing to jacks, 10s. We're going to get action from ace, queen, queen, ace, king. I think we're going to bet call. Stack size. We've got the king of hearts. And so let's just size it like that. If he raises, we'll just jam, and he can show us 10s. He will sometimes. Also show us jacks sometimes. I think we're going to check raise all in, because I think sometimes he'll have floats that try and bluff this turn, putting us on ace king or ace queen. He might also try and bluff ace king or ace queen. So I think we're going to check and then just probably ship on him. And I guess we'll value bet this river. He shouldn't have a ton of like lone 10s in his range. He doesn't. He had ace jack. Yeah, we missed a street of value. I assume ace jack would bet turn, but it's not that crazy to check it back. Let's say like my 3-betting range is like big pairs, which are never folding, and ace king, ace queen, which might fold. So like, why bet the turn? So his check back's okay. On that draw of a board, I assumed a hand like ace jack or king jack would bet, which is why we were hoping to check and then put the money in. But we missed a street. We could have set that up. If I knew he had ace jack pretty often, I would just go bet, assuming it's not ace or jack on the river. Now, if a jack came on the river in this spot, that would have actually been kind of brutal, except he's 44-0, so he can actually have some jacks. You know what? I'm an idiot. I didn't look at my stats at all. If I had seen this guy's ag factor 0 and 47, I would have just bet. So we definitely missed value. We could have stacked on that hand. If we size like $12 turn, we can jam river, right? So there's like 15 in the pot. We've put 8 in. All right, we'll call. We put 8 in. We put 12 more in. We got $30 left after we make it. Yeah, we definitely could have jammed river. Pretty easy river call here, the way this hand played out. Definitely an easy river bet. He snap calls with worse. Ace king would not make sense because everything that's not a pair is a straight usually. Was a 9-10 out there, maybe putting on jack queen. No, he 3-bet ace 9. Okay, good to know. It's okay. Jack 3 will fold. Ace 10, I will open middle position. I actually fold ace 10 under the gun now. Used to open ace 10 plus under the gun. Now I open ace 10 plus from here and ace jack plus here. King jack I fold under the gun. King queen I open. So I've tightened up the early position a little bit, and I haven't made very many adjustments to the late position opening range recently, and it's been pretty good. I shouldn't say it's been pretty good, it's been pretty okay. Fold to c-bet 50% of the time. So betting half pot, that didn't work. So when you bet half pot, you are risking $1.50 to win $4.50. Only has to work 33% of the time. So if he has a hand there, now that's actually kind of a board I would not c-bet generally if he defended wider. And our sample size isn't huge, but when he if he has like 6-7 with no spade, all sorts of stuff that he might call with position, they'll just fold it right away. And I don't want to check call. I guess check fold is like probably my main play there. But after I raise pre, it's a board that like actually hits a decent part of my opening range, even from small blind versus big blind. This is interesting. So we got ace high, 2-2-2. Maybe I should have, I don't know, take over the initiative in this hand. So 2 rolls off, we have the nuts. Ace rolls off, we have a very strong hand. Shouldn't be a ton of boats out there. Most people raise their pocket pairs. Now what? Limp, 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 limp. So who knows? We make trips here. We'll just bet pot 3 ways, hoping ace or a 10 looks us up. Possibly 2 hearts. 9 of hearts? It's not good. We're going to have to bet fold, I think. Trips are good. And we do have quads. Man, I'm stupid. I guess like check and let them bluff there. He's just so bad. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh gosh. Yeah, I messed this up too. Alright. I have to take a 2-minute break here, get my head on straight. I missed my pre-flop sizing up here. We win that. But, yeah, so I make the absolute nuts on the turn and then blow him off the hand. Makes a lot of sense. Alright, we're going to hit sit out next hand, take a quick bathroom timeout here. Alright, missed the big there. We'll get an update on the graph. Looks like we're up 89.73 in 217 hands. Oh, this table broke. Must have been based around me, the fish. So that table broke while we were gone. Unfortunate, there were a couple soft spots there. Load up another one using Ignition's quick seating. Very annoying system to have in place. Let's see if we can't get a table. It's a Friday night. Usually have plenty of action on Friday nights, so shouldn't take long. We can sit heads up for a little bit if we have to. Looks like we'll get a 4-handed game. 8-10 under the gun will fold. I do need to reload right here. And technically we're on the button, so we'll just pop this up if he folds. And actually, we're going to just try and end the hand right here with that dead money in there, and the ace. He calls. We do not flop trips, but we flop trips for a second. We'll bet half pot, like I talked about a second ago. Only has to work 1 in 3 times to be profitable. On a board like this, if he has some queens in his range, obviously, but if he doesn't have a queen, probably shouldn't be too interested in it. And he does fold. And we'll just peel one off here. And we'll just peel one off here. Make top pair. And we'll just pay him off. 7, no good, sir. Top pair heads up. It's drawy enough. I think we get some calls from all sorts of weird stuff, so we'll be betting the turn. And we'll fold there. Guess I might check back river. I think I might check back river. Ooh, he really... it's close. Do I get value from worse? A small bet, probably. Ace high can look up 333 maybe. Oh, he snap calls. Ace high. We win. Woo! I assume ace high. It doesn't have to be. It could be like pocket 2s or something. Ace high. No? Yeah, ace high. So that's why you, when you value bet thin, you need to make it small. Like the parts of his range that would call there for a big bet are the parts that are beating us, like some weird pocket 10s that got scared or is playing it weird. The parts of his range, like his ace high call downs, are not going to probably call a big bet as often. So you size it small if you want to get value. It doesn't make sense for him to have a ton of hands that beat us except like 9x of spades. When they hit the river and he paused for a while, I was afraid he was going to like lead, have like 7-9 of spades or something. I forget the exact board, but when he checks the river, you can check back. Sometimes you're going to value bet and just get owned, but I think you miss some value when he does have like a lot of ace highs and weird stuff like that. Of course, it's a complete disaster if he check raise bluffs you, but people just don't check raise bluff very often. First off, you have to balance your range of check raise bluffs, so you have to have, it's hard to end up with a bunch of like enough river spots where you can check raise the river as many times as you need to check raise bluff. Now, no one really plays GTO at 50 and L, but meta game speaking, people just don't check raise bluff rivers very often. So I give people a lot of credit if they check raise the river, unless I have like notes on them. On Ignition, there are no notes, or I played with them live a lot, and I know that they do crazy stuff. But on Ignition, pretty much just flying blind. This is a really annoying spot. We raised king queen, and I assume one of them has an ace, and this would be a pretty trivial fold for me. So we have a backdoor royal flush draw to go with our second pair. Now we're getting 3-4 to 1 on the money, so I think we're going to peel one off here. Problem for me is turn an open ender, and we actually have the top end as well, so we'll peel one off here. Problem is, like, okay, now we have the nut flush draw and second pair. That's 9 into 26. Oh, these two guys behind me are annoying. It's very annoying. 9 into 26. We're going to hit about 20% of the time. Let me hit my time bank. Thank you. 9 into 26 plus 9 is 9 into 35, so we're getting over 3 to 1. Problem is, if one of these guys raises, it's really bad. Alright, we're going to hope and pray here. Oh, that's the worst card that could possibly come off. That's really bad. Ugh, that's the guy with the flush? The guy who led flop? Didn't lead when he made the flush? Yeah, I think you can fold the turn. Rip. When it goes check, I actually think we have the best hand pretty often. So this guy had 2 pair, we had 2 pair, and this guy had a flush. This guy had the second nuts, and he check called turn, checked river. Second nuts. Genius. He also called pre from the small blind with jack 7 of clubs, but that's a different story. Frustrating. Checks through king queen high might actually win here sometimes. It would be ace king queen 10 6 6. I assume someone has an ace pretty often. And that guy's not aggressive at all, so we're gonna let that go. One money I shut on 75% of the time. Something feels off. I don't like calling light, but something doesn't feel right. Okay. That makes sense, actually. That's why I write no loose river calls. They just don't bluff enough. I was trying to think of what hand would be happy with that turn. That would raise under the gun. That would also bet river like that. That's one of them. I didn't really think of it. I was really like, I don't think you would bet ace king or ace queen like that. People at 15L just get scared with those trips out there and the double check. They know they're not going to get value from a 10, so they usually don't bet a bear ace. He got value from a 10 because I'm a fish. Yeah, well, I said something felt fishy, but it was not a bluff. It was the straight rip. Jeez, boring. Nothing going on. Come on. Put something out there. What's going on Reddit? Pocket 10's UTG. 3 BBs. Alright. 10s gets through. Pocket 5s will open. 7-8, I am going to actually put a little pressure on him. Jack 6 will fold. King 9 under the gun will fold. Flop second pair on that draw of the board. We're going to have to bet probably 2 streets. Unless the diamond rolls off, we'll probably just check back and give it up. And we're going to take that down. 5s takes it down too. I like that. This one's actually a value bet. This one's, I mean, technically a value bet, but it's just kind of an annoying spot to be in general when you open your small pocket pairs and c-bet. You can check back. There's nothing wrong with checking back sometimes. In fact, in tough games, you should probably balance by checking back some of those hands. Every once in a while, you're going to check back and hit a set as well. But at 15, I'll just play it straightforward. You c-bet, Let's see. I don't really like using the term like feeler bets, but it definitely gives you some information. Like when they call and when they fold, the best thing in the world happens, right? You just get their money for free. You don't have to dodge anything. You don't have to fade anything. You don't have to hit your 2-outer. You just get some money. When they call, you have to play a guessing game based off their stats and any history you have with them. 2-3 will fold. Ace-king, obvious open. 9-deuce, we already hit fold, apparently. Ace-9 will open if it happens to fold to us. And we'll probably just complete if it goes check through, or limp through. Ace-king, we open the button, who's a very tight player, over 8 hands, takes, and then folds. This guy's 18 and 18, he folds. This guy's pretty crazy. We'll put him in 4-bet and try and get it in pre against him. We'll fold there. This guy isolates, and I'll let him isolate. And he calls. Yeah, we would have flopped aces up. Ace-7 doesn't flop anything. Big blind gets a walk, or not a walk. Big blind gets to see the flop for free, but nothing. Queen actually kills our action, so Ace-Jack, Ace-10, Ace-King all beat us. Ace-Queen has a strong dad. Any queen beats us, so that would have not been a great turn for us. Ace-7 will fold. I'm going to check that back. Probably just fold the river. I don't know what he has. He calls with 38% of hands, so he can have some worse hands. He's not super aggressive. I don't expect him to be bluffing here nearly often enough for us to look him up with Ace-King high. The only bluff he has is 8-9, which made a pair, which I doubt he would turn into a bluff, and now we don't beat it because it's a pair. 9 Jack made a pair, 8 Jack made a pair. Those are the gut shots, which are less likely than the other stuff. I don't know what he has. It's kind of a weird board to be. Ace-10, King-10 suited, Queen-10 suited, King-10, Jack-10 suited, I guess. I don't know why you'd bet full pot on the river, though, with those hands. And King-Queen whiffs. We'll just check fold. Check fold our money away. One pot at a time. Alright, reload there. 4-5, I'll fold. I could maybe 2.5x that, but whatever. And we'll reload here. What's up, YouTube viewer? Whoever you are. Doesn't let me know the names of people watching, so I assume you're just a cool person. Pocket 6 is on the button, we'll raise King-10, middle position, or cutoff, de facto cutoff. Get an update on this graph. So right now we are up $57, one buy-in over the course of 300 hands. We will raise the button to 2.5 BBs. Jack 3, we will fold. Just call. Call at his playing position. If he 3-bets, his stack's too small for us to defend unless he clicks it back as a 3-bet. 5s under the gun, we'll raise to 3x. Viewer on Twitch as well. Blowing up. Jack 3, easy fold. This guy's really thinking about it. We got 6s and he's taking his time. We flop top set, monotone, really wet board. Really wet. Good news, we'll get action from any ace, any club. So, let's go bet. Hopefully it's a 7 of clubs on the river. Yeah, he folds turn. So got a full pot size bet on that flop. No one's ever folding the ace or the king of clubs for a full pot size bet, so charge them the maximum. And I'm not flopping a set and losing on the flop, so I'm not worried about getting check raised. I'm just going to jam and hope to boat up or hope to hold against the lone ace of clubs. You can also set or reset them. We had top set. Sometimes pocket 2s or 3s or 4s or whatever the middle card out there was. King Jack guy opens 27% of his hands, only folds to 3-bet 40% of the time. So a couple schools of thought. You could 3-bet here for value. Well, obviously now we are folding. You could 3-bet there as a bluff. Kind of weird. Because it plays well as a call. So I was just going to call. But this guy decides 3x, let's just make it 80x. And we flop a gut shot. This guy folds to c-bet 50% of the time. He doesn't like to fold to c-bets against us, but we have a gut shot. And we did the math earlier. Only has to work 1 out of 3 times. In general, this guy folds to c-bets 50% of the time, so we are going to be c-betting any of our hands that have equity. Hands like a gut shot makes a good c-bet in that spot. Anyone watching, throw out some questions if you have them. Time for me to answer your poker questions. Why do I play so bad? That can be the first question. 4-8 offsuit. We fold. So actually, assuming this would get opened in front of us, I would actually steal 100% against this guy. Any two cards, because he folds to steal 100% of his range. This guy also does, solely raising any two cards on the button. This guy's kind of annoying. Let's see if he calls 350 when we isolate against him. Putting an ace, which blocks some ace combinations. These are two tight players, and I really want to see how this guy adjusts to us. I tried to make it 5x, and he just check called. So we'll make it 7x and hopefully win pre, and if not, be in position against a bad player. Definitely has reverse implied odds because he'll have some like weird ace-8s and stuff, but we'll see. If this doesn't get through, we'll just know, like, moving forward, this guy doesn't like to fold pre, like, we're not going to just steal against him. Not a great board for us. He should have some hands that hit that. Yeah, we're not going to barrel this guy. He's never folding Jack-10 now. I mean, he's never folding much of anything. We make a pair, but I can't imagine it's good. So, we'll just isolate for value. Nothing else we can really do. So yeah, he's limp calling 7x with king 6, so we're not going to mess with him. The irony is, like, our value hands will get a little wider. Like, king 10 will be like a slam dunk value bet against him. No idea what this guy has. 8, apparently not. 5s wins. 5s have been very good to us today. We have him up here. We're just going to be check folding this flop, though, and he c-bets 100%, so fold. There's another 5. Pocket 10s. Aww, this guy opened to a large size and then got 3-bet. So we're going to have to fold pocket 10s pre. Unlucky. Fold to steal 33. We will fold 4 deuce. 7, 8, 9, 10. So overpair, open and straight draw. Pretty strong. Unlucky for us. And this guy leads half pot. No, he leads almost full pot into the 3-better. Very weird play. Nah, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's 83 and 25. So I'm guessing like pocket jacks, but he could have ace queen, ace jack, you never know. These guys do amazingly weird things. Assuming this guy had ace king or ace queen, but we're only 4 hands in. So no real leads yet. Pocket 10s, we're going to get to open the action here. Get called behind us by a 29-12. Tag factor of 3. Fold to c-bet. Decent amount of the time. Top pair. So we won that one. Here we gotta play the guessing game. Does he have a queen or not? Could have a missed draw. Yeah, when he checks back, we're gonna win, right? Queens should definitely be betting. I mean, aces or kings would be betting this river 100% of the time, so a queen essentially becomes the nuts. So when he checks back, we win. Did we miss value from an 8, or did a flush draw just fail to bluff? No, he had 9s, and he didn't bet it. Okay. Seems fair. I can't fault him too much for that, I guess. I'd probably check back as well. And again, this guy, this is going to be nice if we ever wake up with a good hand. This guy opens to 3x, gets one call. The guy squeezes his whole stack, 80 bigs. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but we'll take it. We're going to isolate middle position versus under the gun with ace-jack off. A little bit susceptible, just with so many people behind you. But it's strong. Flop a gut shot, backdoor meh, flush draw, 2 overs. We will see bet this board if he checks. Probably for 260. He bets 2. I think we're going to peel 1 here. Could raise. Problem is if he comes back over the top, it's a disaster where if I just call, I can bet some turns and get him to fold some hands. We're holding a blocker to clubs. Let's see how he does on this turn. I might raise turn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to raise turn when it's that small. Yeah, and he folds right away. I like it. And we wake up with ace-jack, back-to-back hands. Get it again. How's our graph looking? How's the red line? That's what I really care about. Up about 20, red line. What's our total red line looking like these days? Very good. I don't know how it's taken such a steep upturn. I mean, I've been barreling some more hands. Maybe I'm just picking better hands to bluff with. I really don't know. I finished Matthew Janda's game theory book, and it definitely taught me a lot. I don't feel like it had that big of an impact on my game, but where I read it is where the red line goes up. So maybe it has changed how I play a little bit. I'm not sure. Or it could just be variance. I mean, that's a small sample size. It's less than 5,000 hands. It just seems like there's a very discernible difference in the style of play. The blue line starts going down, the red line starts going up. I just don't feel like I'm playing that different. I don't think the meta overall on Ignition changed. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I know we're going to flop a set here. I need someone else to call, though, for it to really be worth our effort. Call, call. 7-7 ace. Call. 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 Ugh. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. We make 1 pair. 1 pair is good, right? C-bets 50% of the time. Opens 26% of his hands, so we should have the best hand actually pretty often. It's a good card for him to barrel a lot of hands that we're still beating. So I'm okay calling here too. Probably not going to call a big river bet. But it does go off suit. Turn bet 0%, river bet 25. Well, I said we weren't going to call loose river bets. We have 1 pair and he just bet 650. It is a little bit fishy, but he's not that aggressive. So I think we're just going to take a $5 red line loss here. He just doesn't barrel very often. We'll fold. Show me the ace of hearts. The ace of hearts would definitely do that. Alright, queens. Raise the button. King, queen. 10, jack, king, queen. Alright, we'll seize the means of production on this hand. Situation to lead and then just snap, check, fold, turn. I don't know what he was doing. And king high is not going to win here, right? 10, jack, 4, 4, deuce, fold. Jack 7. Just going to win that. Okay. Alright, better be 8 of clubs. That's not the 8 of clubs. Flop a gutter. Okay. Ace, king, diamond, diamond. This guy only raises 9% of his hands pre, that's crazy. Ace, queen got there. Two barrels. Solid tip. Up about two bigs, two buy-ins, more than two bigs. I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm ready to play some Counter-Strike. Some CSGO. CSGO FU. Alright, sit out next hand. Now we'll hit sit out next big blind. Play through. And we'll steal that. And we'll fold that. Alright, we're off that table. Flop a gutter. Fold to c-bet 50%. We will go for the steal. We are off this table. I think we're going to fire one more here. Definite button steal, definite fold. Let's hop off of there. See what we're dealt, but we might just hop off of this too. Yeah, we're out. We are out. We're out. We're all out. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to play some Counter-Strike. If you like Counter-Strike, I might stream it. I know most of you guys watch for poker. Only a couple viewers tonight anyway, so. Not a super long session. Well, we can do a recap of the sesh though. Where's the old manager? Session, get a refresh. Up 96.22, so about two buy-ins, one at an astounding 52 big blinds per 100 for 400 hands. VPIP was 24.7, PFR 17.7, so we're playing about 25.18. Actually a style that's not too crazy for what I play in general. Let's see, so what was I, 25 and 18? Our overall 6-max 50 NL stats are 28 and 21, so a little more snug than usual. C-bet, 3-bet, only 3% of our hands. What do we usually 3-bet? 7%. Yeah, we didn't have a ton of 3-bet. It's kind of weird because I 3-bet a lot of hands that I have been calling with lately, so that's, I don't know, we didn't run super hot. I don't know if we ever had aces. I know we had kings. I think we had queens a few times. Fives flopped a boat right off the bat, so that was nice. and paid $20 in rake. So we're paying Ignition $20 an hour. 0% rake back. 0 on Ignition. So you want rake back, go play at ACR. Also, their player points are essentially worthless. I mean, let's just be real. You have to grind out like $500 in rake to get like a $10 ticket. Seriously. So no rake back, no bonuses. They don't care. I mean, they're focused on casual players, and that's their prerogative. They can do whatever they want. I happen to play there because it's soft games, and I think the win rate makes up for the lack of rake back, but I'm not sure that's 100% true. But it's definitely helped me to play 4 tables instead of my usual 12 that I used to play. We are winning at 12 big blinds per 100, though the sample size is only 22,000 hands. And if you factor all the games we played, Omaha has not gone well. We're winning at 8 big blinds per 100 over 36,000 hands. So really a small sample. 20,000, 30,000 hands doesn't mean much. I start to care about people's sample size at least at 50, preferably like 200, 300,000. 100,000, I'll start to feel like we're in the ballpark of probably somewhat accurate. Not sure what the standard deviation is either, so that plays into the variance of what the actual true win rate probability is. But I feel like we're a winner in the games. 22,000 hands, like I said, it's not a big sample, but I feel like we're a decent winner. Hopefully somewhere around 10 big blinds per 100. And when we move up to 50 NL, hopefully it stays about that. Now it's kind of weird. The same exact style, we actually have near the same win rate, 12.33 and 12.5 at 100 NL, and the VPIP is almost identical. 21.1 PFR, 21.7, 28.2, 28.6. So pretty much the same. So anyway, thanks for watching.